external threats. I am Julie DeMauro, the Director of Compliance Programs and Training at Compliance Week. And before I introduce our great speakers for this panel, I'd just like to encourage you to submit questions in our question box for the speakers to answer throughout the session. They'd love to engage with you. Now, turning to our speakers, I'd like to introduce Hafid Abdellaoui, who is Microsoft's Chief Security Advisor for the U.S. manufacturing industry. He regularly engages with the security industry through public speaking and providing thought leadership, and works closely with Microsoft customers and partners as a trusted advisor to provide strategic direction, enable them to implement security best practices to safeguard their assets and properly manage security risks to their organization. Prior to joining Microsoft, he served as Chief Information Security Officer at Duke Energy, where he was responsible for policy and risk management, research and development, enterprise security architecture, identity management, and directory services, plus threat vulnerability management, perimeter network and endpoint security, network defense, incident response, and penetration testing. He has more than 20 years of experience in the IT and cybersecurity industries. Also, we have with us as our other speaker, Jim Eckert. He's an executive senior advisor with the Microsoft Cybersecurity Solutions Group and is a trusted advisor to IT, security, privacy, compliance, legal, and business executives in their digital transformation journeys. He regularly engages in public speaking, thought leadership, and policy standards engagements in support of secure digital transformation across the public and private sectors in the United States and internationally. Eckert joined Microsoft following prior Chief Information Security Officer roles at Eli Lilly and most recently the Coca-Cola Company, where he delivered global business designed digital risk programs and worked across multinational organizations, global franchise systems, and complex supplier networks. Thank you so much for joining us, Hafid and Jim. And I'll kick it off to you to start with our slide presentation.
All right, Julie, thank you so much for that warm introduction. And hello, everybody. It's great to be here with you this afternoon and look forward to receiving some of your questions, as Julie mentioned earlier. During this session, I am going to cover the threat industry and what the threat platform looks like, both from an external and internal perspective. And then Jim will cover business transformation, how it's impacting both IT and security, and what organizations need to put in place from a controls perspective to both prevent, detect, and respond to threats across your assets. So a lot of the conversations that I'm going to have around the threat landscape, I'm going to be referencing what we call the Digital Defense Report at Microsoft. This is an extensive report that we released in September 2020, looking at the previous year and what the state of cybercrime is, what the nation-state threat look like, and especially spend some time looking at the security of the remote workforce and what organizations need to be putting in place to ensure that their assets are secure. And we really wanted to, rather than having more of a threat intelligence report, is have an extensive set of actionable learnings and what organizations need to be putting in place in order to protect their assets at the end of the day. The Digital Defense Report was a collaboration of many groups across Microsoft, from the Cyber Defense Operations Center, which is known as SOC, as well as our defense team that is externally facing, works with customer on incident response and so on. We also relied heavily on the threat intelligence that we gather from all the services and products that we provide our enterprise customers as well as our consumer customers, from the standpoint that we scan over 1 billion machines on a monthly basis. We process over 470 billion emails and look at the threats that are in the attachments, the threats that are in the links, and so on. We scan over 600 billion documents. So we pull in roughly about 8 trillion signals a day that we apply machine learning and AI to, so that these signals are not just points of interest, but try to gain an